One missed kick, one bad play call, one injury. That's all it took to rewrite NFL history. But what if those moments never happened? What if Tom Brady never played? What if Bo Jackson never got hurt? What if Marshawn Lynch got the ball? These aren't just plays, they were turning points that shaped legacies, careers, and dynasties. 1. Scott Norwood makes the kick. It was Super Bowl 25. The Buffalo Bills were down by 1 point, just 8 seconds left on the clock. Their kicker, Scott Norwood, stepped up to try a 47-yard field goal.
Man of this football team, Scott Norwood.
If he made it, Buffalo would win their first Super Bowl ever, but the kick went wide right.
High drama here in the Super Bowl.
Snap, spot, in the air, it's got the distance, it is no good!
The Giants won, and Norwood became the face of one of the most painful losses in NFL history. But imagine if that ball had gone through the uprights. Buffalo wins 22-20. Norwood becomes a hero. That one moment changes everything. The Bills, instead of starting a streak of 4 straight Super Bowl losses, start as champions. The pressure that followed them might never have built up. Norwood probably stays with the team. The city of Buffalo, known for loyal fans, would have celebrated him forever. His life after football would look very different. No more painful interviews, no more wide right label. Instead, people would remember him for one of the most clutch kicks in football history. 2. Steve McNair gets one more yard. Super Bowl 34 came down to one final play. The Titans were trailing the Rams by 7. Steve McNair had led his team all the way down the field. With just seconds left, he threw a short pass to Kevin Dyson. Dyson caught it and turned toward the end zone, but then he was tackled, 1 yard short. If he had made it in, the Titans could have tied the game with an extra point. That would have forced overtime, something that had never happened in a Super Bowl before. And the Titans had all the momentum. If they had won in overtime, everything would change. McNair becomes a Super Bowl champion. His career is remembered not just for toughness, but for a title. Coach Jeff Fisher gets his name on the list of championship coaches instead of one remembered for falling just short. And for the Rams, that legendary offense led by Kurt Warner suddenly ends in heartbreak. The greatest show on turf might not carry the same weight if it ends with a loss. The Titans, still new to Tennessee at the time, would have claimed their first championship. That 1 yard didn't just end a game, it changed the legacy of everyone involved. 3. Bo Jackson avoids injury. Bo Jackson was something special. He was an all-star in baseball and a pro bowler in football. No one had done that before, but on January 13th, 1991, during a playoff game with the Raiders, he took a hit to the hip that changed everything. The injury led to a rare condition that cut off blood to his hip. It ended his football career and hurt his baseball future too. If that injury never happened, Bo could have played both sports for years. He had power, speed, and incredible talent. The Raiders would have had a huge weapon in future playoff runs. In baseball, the Royals might have had a superstar for much longer. 4. Drew Bledsoe never gets injured. In Week 2 of the 2001 NFL season, Drew Bledsoe took a hard hit from Jets linebacker Mo Lewis. He was knocked out of the game and later hospitalized. That moment opened the door for a young backup named Tom Brady, and the NFL would never be the same. If Bledsoe never gets hurt, Brady stays on the bench. Maybe for the whole season, maybe for years. Bledsoe had just signed a huge contract. He was the face of the franchise. Without Brady stepping in, the Patriots probably stay a solid team, but not a dynasty. They haven't won 6 Super Bowls. Bill Belichick doesn't become one of the most successful coaches in history. Brady might eventually get a chance somewhere else. But would he still become the greatest quarterback of all time? Without Belichick's system and those early Super Bowl wins, it's hard to say. That one injury didn't just change a team, it reshaped the entire league. 5. The Immaculate Reception never happens. In 1972, during a playoff game between the Steelers and Raiders, Franco Harris made a wild catch off a deflected pass and ran it in for a touchdown. That play became known as the Immaculate Reception. It was the Steelers' first playoff win ever and the start of a dynasty. But what if that catch never happened? The Raiders win the game and the Steelers' rise never begins. No momentum, no early success. That spark may have been lost. Without that moment, Pittsburgh might not go on to win 4 Super Bowls in the 1970s. Their famous steel curtain defense may not have become legendary. For Franco Harris, it was the play that made him a star. Without it, his Hall of Fame career would still be great, but maybe not iconic. One bounce changed the future for him and for the entire Steelers franchise. 6. Asante Samuel makes the interception. The New England Patriots were just one play away from finishing a perfect 19-0 season. They were winning late in Super Bowl 42 against the New York Giants. Then came a moment that changed everything. Giants quarterback Eli Manning threw a risky pass. Patriots cornerback Asante Samuel was in perfect position. The ball hit his hands, but somehow he dropped it. If he had caught it, the game would have been over. The Patriots would have won the Super Bowl. They would have finished the only perfect season in NFL history since the 1972 Dolphins. That team, led by Tom Brady and Randy Moss, had broken records all year. This would have been the final piece, the perfect ending. Instead, one play later, the Giants made history with the helmet catch. For Samuel, that drop ball became the moment people remember most. It could have been a career highlight. Instead, it became one of the biggest what-ifs in NFL history. 7. Eli Manning gets sacked. Right after Samuel's dropped interception, the Giants had one last chance. It looked like the Patriots were about to end the game. Eli Manning dropped back to pass and was quickly surrounded. 3 defenders grabbed him. It looked like a sure sack, but somehow Eli broke free. He spun, kept his balance, and escaped. Then he threw the ball down the field. David Tyree jumped up and caught it by pressing it against his helmet while falling to the ground. If Manning had been sacked on that play, the game would have ended right there. The Patriots would have finished their dream season. Eli wouldn't have won that Super Bowl. That play made Eli a legend. It showed he could stay calm in big moments. It gave him the first of his 2 Super Bowl wins. And for Tyree, it turned a little-known player into part of NFL history. One sack could have erased all of it. 8. Brett Favre doesn't throw the interception. In the 2009 NFC Championship game, the Minnesota Vikings were tied with the New Orleans Saints. Time was running out. The Vikings were close to field goal range. All they needed was a few more yards. Quarterback Brett Favre rolled to his right. He had room to run, but instead he threw a pass across his body. It was a risky decision. The ball was picked off, the Saints took over, and later won the game in overtime. If Favre had just run the ball, the Vikings could have tried a field goal. They might have gone to the Super Bowl to face the Colts. And for Favre, it could have been the perfect ending to his long career. A Super Bowl win with a second team, a true redemption story. Instead, the interception added to Favre's story as a risk taker. Sometimes it worked. This time it didn't. The Saints went on to win their first Super Bowl. It became a symbol of hope for the city of New Orleans after Hurricane Katrina. But none of that happens if Favre makes a different choice. One pass changed everything. 9. Dez Bryant's catch is ruled complete. In January 2015, the Dallas Cowboys were playing the Green Bay Packers in a playoff game. Late in the fourth quarter, Tony Romo threw a deep pass to Dez Bryant on 4th down. Bryant leaped into the air, caught the ball near the goal line, and nearly scored. At first, the referees ruled it a catch, but after looking at the replay, they changed the call. They said Bryant didn't fully control the ball as he hit the ground. The Cowboys lost possession and never got the ball back. Green Bay ran out the clock and won the game. If the call had stayed a catch, the Cowboys would have had the ball at the 1-yard line. They had a strong chance to score a touchdown and take the lead. That one play could have changed the entire game. And if they had won, they would have moved on to the NFC Championship. The controversy didn't end there. That moment became one of the most debated calls in NFL history. Dez caught it, became a rallying cry for fans and players. The league eventually changed the catch rule because of that play. For Dez Bryant, it was a turning point. Even though he had a great career, that moment is the one people talk about the most. And for the Cowboys, it might have been their best chance to reach the Super Bowl in years. 10. Odell Beckham Jr. doesn't make the catch. In November 2014, rookie Odell Beckham Jr. was already turning heads. But during a Sunday night football game against the Cowboys, he made a catch that changed everything. He sprinted down the sideline, leapt backwards, and caught the ball with one hand, actually, just 3 fingers, while falling into the end zone. He was also being held by a defender at the time. That catch became an instant classic. People around the world watched the replay over and over. It wasn't just a touchdown, it was a moment that made him a star. Athletes from other sports, including LeBron James, reacted to it online. If Beckham hadn't made that catch, he still would have had a strong career. But that one play sped everything up. He became a household name overnight. 11. Marshawn Lynch gets the ball. It was Super Bowl 49. The Seattle Seahawks were on the Patriots' 1-yard line, just one play away from taking the lead in the final seconds. Everyone expected the same thing, give the ball to Marshawn Lynch. But instead of running, the Seahawks called a pass. Russell Wilson threw to the middle, and Malcolm Butler made the interception. The Patriots won the Super Bowl. That one decision changed everything. If Lynch had gotten the ball and scored, Seattle would have won back-to-back championships. They would have been remembered as a dynasty. Instead, the loss left fans stunned and critics pointing fingers. People still call it one of the worst play calls in NFL history, but the truth is, Lynch wasn't always automatic from the 1-yard line. He had been stopped before. Still, the choice to pass when the game was on the line became the story.